It's Monday, and welcome to the Monday Midsole. I'm your co-host, Kev, a.k.a. Buckeye City Soul, and we have a great show planned for you today. But first, let me go ahead and pass it to the person who is muted but may not know it. Freaking Power Girl.
Come on here.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Hi, everyone. I know it's been a while, but hello, Midsole family, Freaking Power Girls, Soul Wash for the society. I think I need like another two more businesses so I can just keep going with it.
You got too many. You got more jobs than a Jamaican.
No, you're good.
And I'll pass it to my brother from another mother. What's up, Mo?
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mo. Glad to be here. It's been a minute. Excited. I'm bummed about the loss by the Bills yesterday, but I was able to muster up the energy to come on. We have a great guest tonight. Matter of fact, going for the guest, I probably would have bailed on these guys, but
feelings hurt. You more sensitive than an Android user.
Listen, my feelings are real hurt about that loss, but we got a great show for you guys. I'm gonna kick it over to our guest of the evening tonight, Mr. B Mart, and tell everybody a little bit about yourself, sir.
Cool. Hey, everybody. My name is Brandon Martinez. Go by B Mart on most social media platforms. I am the CEO and co-founder of Sneakerhood. We are an NFT-based community for sneakerheads. I'm sure we're going to get all into that this evening.
Absolutely. That's what the people want to know.
I'm interested in this.
Of course, exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to kick it off with the question that we always do, typically, which is, what is the sneaker that got you into collecting?
Oh man, that's difficult. So I grew up. I was a Navy brat. So I was born here, actually in New York. But I was a Navy brat. We moved around a lot as a kid. So I technically really didn't touch down in the U.S. until I think about 6th grade. So when I came over here, and I lived overseas. I lived in Japan. I lived in Bermuda. I didn't know anything about anything. I distinctly remember coming and our first big winter. My dad got me this North Face jacket, but it said Bugaboo on the back, and it was right around the time of the Destiny's Child song came out. And I just told my dad, I'm so sorry, I can't wear this. I will be laughed out of the building. I cannot wear this. So sneakers really just weren't until I came to the US. You just had stuff and you ran around and you played in it and all that kind of stuff. So down in Virginia Beach, that's where we landed. Honestly, lugs was the thing that we were into back in the day. I lived out in the sticks. lived out in the sticks, so we needed boots to go walking through. We lived in this new housing development where there just wasn't anything out there, and the second you walk out the door, it's all dirt and stuff. So you would have just wrecked some shoes. And also I did not grow up having a lot of money, so I remember I think I had one winter. Maybe a couple winters after the Bugaboo jacket, where I had the choice between a starter jacket and a pair of Jordans, and it was cold as shit outside, so I went with the starter jacket instead. It was a Charlotte Hornets jacket.
The Hornets.
Of course, I was about to say that'd be
wore the hell out of that jacket. I loved it to death. So I think for me, sneakers has actually always been a lot of looking on the outside, looking on the outside in. I worked in the music industry for a while, so that was when I kind of started actually picking some stuff up, actually collecting. So this would have been 2011 or so, 2010. So Nike Yeezys, definitely was paying attention to that, and all that kind of stuff, basically. So yeah, I definitely think that the Nike Yeezy era was a period where I was oh shit, okay. Supreme foam posits, and that's when the Concord 11s came back out, I think 2011, right? Something like that. And so yeah, that was my era. I was oh, I can afford all these things that I wanted as a kid. Now I'm gonna go buy all of them.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. That seems to be the case with probably most of us, which is why we probably have so many pairs of shoes because we couldn't get them when we were younger. So
Sure.
So let's just kind of jump right into it, because I want to eat up most of this with the interview with let's talking about the NFTs. So what explain to people the concept behind Sneakerhood and what gave you the vision and the idea to get this started.
Yeah, so I'm gonna rewind a little bit and kind of give a little bit of the full version. So this is, I'm an entrepreneur by trade. This is my second company. The first company I built was called Indie Music. It was a music rights administration platform. Essentially, if you remember all the Harlem Shake videos from 2013, internet's Harlem Shake, not Harlem's Harlem Shake, obviously. That was us. We were the ones behind the scenes making sure artists and label got paid for all those crazy videos. We were genre agnostic, so we also worked with like Zach Brown Band on the countryside, Lindsey Sterling, who's really big on YouTube. And then our other big thing we're probably most well known for was Summer of Fetty Wap and Trap Queen. We're a white label for 300 Entertainment, so we managed all that back end and saw all that as well. So had some cool things we got to work on over the 5 or so years that I ran the company. Sold that to Live Nation in 2016, and then went on board and ran their broader YouTube business for the next 3 years. Realized pretty quickly corporate life was not going to be for me. Lots of different reasons. Primarily like it was just difficult to kind of get things going through. I was, again, used to kind of running the show, and over there it's very decentralized, a bunch of music promoters that kind of just hate one another. And so it's sort of like roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, just trying to create a cohesive digital strategy. So I'd actually gone on this leadership retreat to Israel. It was like late 2017. It's all about like entrepreneurship and culture and what's next for you and how to give back to your community as well. And just came back like really inspired and ready to get back to being an entrepreneur, really. So came back, started thinking about all the things that I love, sneakers clearly being one of them. And, so this is, again, late 2017. This is like StockX and GOAT had really started to like dominate that like secondhand marketplace kind of space. Knew I didn't want to do that. Also lots and lots of overhead. And, I still remember the era. We've all been, had on eBay with some resellers and stuff like that. In one of my sneaker groups today, somebody bought off Facebook and some guy sent him a vase. Sorry. So wow. it still happens, right? And still in today's era, it's crazy. But yeah, so for me, again, sneakers are all about community, right? Like I mentioned, like I'm here in Brooklyn, so just walking down the street, seeing what people are rocking on their feet. I played a lot of ball as a kid, still do, just not nearly as well. So I've always been obsessed with like, the technology and like a LeBron or Serena sneakers to like improve their game and all that other kind of stuff as well. So so I think sort of the first thing that I was identifying, like as there are all these new people coming into the culture, there's a lot of that sort of like knowledge gap that was being like left behind, right? Around it, or at least watching it, mentioned. That was being lost, like especially I think on like Instagram and Reddit, like where people are primarily posting about their kicks. You have either people that don't even know what they're actually looking at, or again, if you're going to search for something, let's say you're looking for Yeezys, like you're going to see, right, a failed presidential bid, him and Julia Fox, like all kinds of craziness before you actually get to the sneakers, right? And so to me, that's a metadata problem. I'm really just a metadata nerd at the heart of everything. I'm sure you guys all have your ways of organizing everything. For me, it's all organized by brands, model, colorway, year of release, designer, whatever other kind of useless information I have in my head about sneakers. And so wanted to apply that again to that sort of idea of sneaker images, right? How we're all sharing our sneakers as well. So fast forward a little bit, top of 2019, I had an early prototype, raised some friends and family money, started building the first version of the product, which was an endless scroll of sneaker photos, but with all that metadata embedded within it. Again, just like on YouTube, but with all like on Instagram, but with all the metadata basically. From there, got into Snapchat has an accelerator program called Yellow. And so I did that. This is like summer of 2019. That was really the official kickoff of the business. And so really even at that time, Snap had, obviously they already have like their AR filters. They were into the Snap glasses. They had just implemented in 2019 their gaming division inside the app as well. So I was always really interested in this idea of sort of like virtual or digital goods is what I was calling them back then. And even the idea of sort of like gamifying sneaker collecting, knowing that was sort of probably like one of the next directions of where we're all sort of heading, basically, right? Especially with this younger generation sort of coming into it all. So fast forward, end of that year, really just wasn't happy with that first version of the product. Had outsourced all the development to a third-party company, and it just wasn't very good. It worked, but just not really. So, And I think that we were just sort of like missing a lot. It was really just like posting the images. We didn't have the community aspect. Like a lot of things were just sort of missing. And part of that, Mo, I know is just sort of like outsourcing all that development. You need people internal, right, that can speak the same language, right, where you can really also like ideate and like build off of one another as well. So so long story short, fast forward, got really lucky. 2020, had two friends come on and join the company. One's creative director here in the city. The other one, my CTO, John, and I, we used to play ball here in Brooklyn. He had since moved out to the Philippines to go work for Google, left to go start a couple companies of his own, one of which was the largest live gaming app in Southeast Asia. Think like HQ Trivia, but for Southeast Asia. And they sold that just before COVID hit as well. So, while we were sitting there kind of figuring out what was going to be next, John literally came and said, "Hey, I've got this team. Can I help you?" To which I said, 100% you absolutely.
Oh, wow. Can I help you?
Wow.
Okay.
Super, super fortunate. I know. So,
Nice.
So we put out our the new version of the app. This is like spring of last year, April or May or so. And much more about community and ways to interact, and really almost like Telegram meets like Instagram, and just like much more interactive, and was really building. But I think that, again, going back to that initial sort of thesis about that interaction of the knowledge base of like older sneakerheads and newer sneakerheads really just wasn't quite there as much as we wanted it to be, right? So we started, some of our early users actually said sort of like that's one of the reasons why they don't like posting on Instagram and Reddit is again that sort of like lack of going.
I'm sorry, Brandon. When did you realize that gap? When you said the early users, I'm sorry. What was that year?
Yeah, that was so 2021. So we're in the last year now. I know.
Because I still see it now. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
just wanted to stop.
late spring, early summer of last year, basically.
Okay.
And it was really, again, as we brought on more users, our users educated us, right? So we had this idea in our head, but then it was as users started coming on board, we started figuring out and listening to them. Again, Mo and I talked a lot about this, but what do you actually want? What are you looking for? But also sort of like with an eye on, well, where is this all going? Like, what's going to be next?
Right.
Like, I don't want to just recreate Instagram, right? That's what I had done in that Snapchat version, and it wasn't very good. So that was around the time when we started looking around, going back to that original thesis of these digital goods, all that kind of stuff. This is when NFTs like really started popping off, right? Summer of last year, and realized, okay, here's an opportunity to fold all that in and also sort of switch up the format. Our format was also kind of boring, right? It was just like Instagram and Facebook and all that other kind of stuff that we're used to. So looking again at the rise of collectible trading cards, like basketball cards, baseball cards, all that again, realizing we could do that. So what we did is like our new format is in that format of a collectible trading card. So the image that you've taken of your sneakers, but with, again, all the metadata that we're built upon, now just embedded in this cool and almost nostalgic sort of way of a collectible trading card. So whereas like traditional cards celebrate like athletes and their moments in sports history, our cards are all about celebrating like you and your moments with your sneakers. So the next level of that, and where the NFTs start to come in then, is, okay, how do we really turn this into a collectible, something that people like really want? So the first thing so there's obviously layers in all these different collectible, these NFTs. So first thing we looked at is background filters, allowing users to swap out the background of their image, replace it with one of our custom presets or an image that they've taken themselves. So now it kind of takes it again to a different level. So this really set us up for like partnerships. So we did a partnership with ESPN last year where they were celebrating the release of the Top 10 High, celebrating Sports Center in 1979. So we took sort of that old branding of like the original set design and original colors and stuff like that, and created some different backgrounds. So my favorite one, for example, you had the original set design of Sports Center. You could literally put your kicks like on top of the set, so it looked like that's sort of like what was being discussed in Sports Center that night. So again, kind of adding in all these different layers, and now we're looking at different filters to kind of add on top of that to sort of like turn it into artwork as well and really take it to the next level. So long-winded answer. I promise most of them won't be that long, but that's the full journey of then to now.
Okay. So one thing that you guys are doing right now, that you've done several things, or you've done the trying to educate people on NFTs, right? Because, until I really sat and, did the class with you or the academy, I didn't really quite understand it. So do you feel that you're getting positive feedback from those classes that you're holding to kind of educate people on NFTs?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that there's a lot of what sucks is that there was this information article, news site that just came out, where I got quoted in there, and
Hmm.
I think the releases that we've seen so far. I know we're going to talk about StockX a little bit later, but Nike a little bit less so because they came in right after the last artifact drop, so we haven't seen what they're actually going to do together, but
Right.
the Adidas drop was just a cash grab, right? So, we get asked, or we
Hmm.
were asked by one of our investors before they invested, are we trying to onboard crypto people into sneakers, or are we trying to onboard sneakers into Web3? And it's definitely the reverse. It's
Hmm.
definitely using sneakers as a vehicle for a mainstream audience to better understand, again, the abilities and what's there in Web3. And I think that, like, I mean, I've seen this, right? Where I've bought an asset for a small amount, and it's sold for significantly more, way more than a pair of sneakers that it get cost around the same amount, and way quicker. I don't have to wait for it to accrue in value in sort of the same way. Or even
Hmm.
there are all these what they call airdrops, which is basically just a free giveaway of tokens, of NFTs, by just participating in the community. So the earlier you're involved, you're getting assets for free, which is literally just free wealth. It's like somebody just handing you, hey, thanks for
Right.
being here. Here's $5,000. And if you wait a week or two, it might be worth $10,000. Like,
Right.
that's crazy. And for, I
Right.
think, especially, when I say our community, I also definitely, I speak this freely. It's not just the sneakers community, but also the Black and brown communities from which sneakers actually emanate as well, right? So we're seeing things like in the Philippines and other emerging sort of economy areas where they're able to use NFTs to just make actual money. That could be like, whether it's a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 or a couple $100,000. That's life-changing money for a lot of
Yeah.
people in our community, for
Right.
all of us, right?
Yeah.
That pays for groceries for a week, it pays for rent for a month, like all that other kind of stuff, which then, when you have that financial freedom, that's what allows you to really invest your time and your money back into other things, where you're not just struggling to get by, day to day. So I really believe in the power of Web3, clearly.
Amen. Amen. Which I'm glad you said that, because that kind of rolls into my next question with, the way things were ramping up in 2021. I heard an echo. Okay. No, I don't hear an echo. With the way things were ramping up in 2021 and now we're in 2022, you got the big brands jumping in. You got Nike, you got Puma, you got Adidas. What do you envision 2022 looking like, as far as with this whole thing with the metaverse and Web3 and all that? What are you predicting for 2022?
Yeah, it's a good question. So, like, what I hope is that people just get more educated. So, like I'm talking about, a lot of this it really comes down to utility, right? So, and that was really my problem with the Adidas drop, right? Is that the utility, in theory, was everybody got the same asset, the same NFT.
Did they? I didn't
It
know that.
didn't look any different.
Okay.
And all it really was you got some swag. Now, they could obviously extend that so that if you're holding onto the asset, you might get discounts, or maybe the first opportunity to buy something like in the future. But initially, that just really wasn't worth, like, a hoodie is not worth $800 to me. Like, I don't care whose hoodie it is, so
Mm,
yeah, Dior or something like that, But again, I'm not buying that on the regular basis.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
yeah, me neither.
so what I hope for the community is we all just get educated and then find opportunities to kind of support from within as well, right? And then learning that these bigger drops, like the StockX one, the Adidas one, like, that's not meant for us. Like, that's for, again, these crypto people that are like, oh, I heard sneakers are cool. Let me go buy this and hold on to it, like, as an asset. I know that, like,
Mm,
we all talk about this, like, wear your sneakers, right? It's the same sort of thing of, like, you should be part of this community. And again, that's where the more benefits come in with the additional airdrops and all that other kind of stuff as well. So, we'll definitely see these bigger brands coming in. We've seen, Walmart is creating their own
yeah,
token.
Walmart. Yeah.
We've seen every brand at this point, from New Balance to Crocs, has, like, registered their virtual, trademarks and things like that. So it's coming. And if
Yep.
it doesn't come right away, like, it'll be here by the end of the year, by early next year for sure. So, I mean, at the Super Bowl, I think we're about to see a crazy amount of weird
Mhm.
NFT commercials that aren't going to make
Hmm.
sense to most people.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Didn't think about that.
I think I just saw the advisor. I think it's Bud, maybe it's Miller. I don't remember. Somebody is literally hosting happy hour inside Decentraland with Nouns DAO. which like again is really big in the crypto community, but it's one you guys like probably haven't heard of, right? Like
I've got some Decentraland.
well,
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be honest. Like, there's so many pieces of this, from virtual land to DeFi to NFTs, the cryptocurrencies themselves. Like, there's also only so much you can do, and so I think it's about figuring out what interests you and just lock in and figure that out. And then once that makes sense, like other things will slowly start to roll. And if you're part of conversations, you'll start to learn more and things like that as well. So I think honestly, this year for most of us is just going to be continue to learn, maybe start to make some investments, start to figure out where it is. If you guys haven't been watching, crypto is like plummeting right now.
Yeah, I saw.
Man, it's hurt my heart.
But again, they say buy the dips, right? Like we've seen crashes like this happen before as well. And so I hope that for most people, they probably see this and they get really skeptical. I think most of us who've seen, again, the benefits, like I bought my Ethereum initially, I think when it was around like 125, 150. So I've seen it obviously skyrocket significantly from there. So even if, you buy it at the 2,000 or 2,500 that it is right now, or buy in at that price, if and when it goes back up to $4,000 or so, you've almost doubled your money practically, in a month or 2 months time or whatever it is, basically. So, obviously don't stress yourself financially. You got to figure out what is the right play for you. But I think that there's no better time than now, literally right now when the prices are so low, to start trying to just figure it out and figure out what makes sense to you and what interests you. Even this weekend, Mo, I was on you, I think on Friday, like I did some NFT shopping. I was like, all right, let's go low. Let's go see what's out there. And I hadn't really purchased a lot on Solana before. And I found some crazy sneaker projects out there. They're just super interesting. So it's worth just looking around and at least figuring it out, even if you don't necessarily purchase, but figuring it out.
So I'm going to kind of put you on the spot a little bit. Nothing bad.
Okay.
I know you had talked about, of course I've been following and, we've been talking. Do you have an idea of when? I know you were targeting this month as far as trying to like have that live launch. Do you have an idea of when that live launch is? It still going to be this month, or you have an idea of what you're targeting, or is that kind of?
No, it's all good. We should talk about these things, right? Because like it's understanding what's out there. And honestly, it's one of the things I love about Web3 is that it is very collaborative and people are really out there sort of like sharing information because it's all so new. So we are specifically building on a chain called Flow. Flow is the blockchain created by originally the CryptoKitties team. So one of the bigger projects launched in 2017. The story goes they sort of broke Ethereum when they launched. And they basically said like there's got to be a better way than this. So they built their own blockchain called Flow with the whole ethos around blockchain for the mainstream. So again, you can see where we sort of like share ideals there. Their biggest project, most of you guys know, is NBA Top Shot. So that is sort of like the premier product to showcase how you can have more efficient transactions that are not eating up all the energy that you hear about like Bitcoin and Ethereum sort of using, but also no gas fees. Literally, there are no gas fees on Flow. It is the easiest. If you've never bought Top Shot, that's a great place to start. To go from sign up to purchase takes all of 5 minutes. It is one of the easiest things, and you can use your credit card. So you don't even need any sort of cryptocurrency or anything like that. It's just super easy to do and sort of gets you into understanding sort of like the, this space a little bit basically. So, so we're building on Flow. It is super early. That also means that there's not as much infrastructure there. So they have that the ability to make those transactions so easy is what's called the Dapper wallet. So it's their wallet that they built for the blockchain basically. And they've only just started to roll it out to projects. So we honestly didn't know that. We didn't know to ask a lot of these questions when we were first building, end of last year. And so we've learned a lot along the way. But I'm just really convinced that that's what's needed for the community, right? Like I want to make this as easy as possible for our community to onboard. And so even what we're selling, right, or our first big launch that we're doing are what we call sidekicks. They're these little animal. We've created this whole lore and narrative around like a post-apocalyptic world where collectors have been, or resale bots have sort of like crashed all the infrastructure. Collectors have been driven underground. All that remain are these sort of like animal companions that we call sidekicks, decked out in all these sneaker pieces. So we've sort of like, if you remember like Freehand Profit, if you've looked at any of like his artwork and stuff like that. Takes like that but, like, full body level where we've got foam runners as gloves, and we've got cement threes as like chest pieces, and Atmos ones as like a neck scarf and stuff like that, basically. So again, just having fun with where all this can go, and really again showing homage to the culture, really just showing all these pieces that we all know and love, basically. And that's going to be the on-ramp to this bigger platform that we're building. So, one is that these NFTs, while it's a great opportunity for us to make some money, and a great opportunity for people to start bring even more people into, there we go.
Okay.
To bring even more people into the culture, into our community specifically. We want to do it right. So that's been the biggest thing for us, is just making sure that, we're aligned and we're set up for success and longer term value down the line. So the mint is not going to happen this month. I mean, this month we've got like a week left of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But very, very, very soon afterwards, we are actively talking to the Dapper team. The one project that they have that has launched, that's been a really big one, it's called Ballers, which is also definitely looking at, it's sort of like CryptoPunks, but with basketball players. They were the first ones to get access to the Dapper wallet. They sort of launched it for Flow. We may be talking about maybe seeing if we can figure something out with them to collaborate together, basically. So, really, again, I think that Flow we're about to hear about that on a bigger level, the same way we're starting to hear about Solana and on par with all the Ethereum projects. So we really want to celebrate all these other projects that are on Flow as well. Another really cool one. It's a little bit kind of like rock inspired PFP avatars, definitely worth checking out. So we've been doing a lot of work in the background, but again, it's all about longer term success and longer term value for our community as well.
Okay, nice.
Can I jump in and ask a question real quick?
Please.
Yeah, go ahead. I only have one last one.
Just because I bet that there's a lot of people, like, I mean, I've gotten into crypto a little bit, but like, you hear about the NFTs and you're trying to wrap your brain around, what makes them so important. So there's a lot of people that, maybe they want to further, their education on NFTs. Where would you point them? What direction would you point them in to get started, just to kind of start doing their own research?
Oh, damn, Kev. That was just what I was going to.
Oh, my bad.
That was not your question.
That was my last question. So, there you go. Yeah.
You ain't got to lie.
No, it was. Go ahead.
Now you got to think of another one, Mo. So that's a good setup. So like Mo said, like, we've been doing this NFT 101 session that literally is a breakdown, because I think that's part of it, is just like, so Twitter, I think overall is the best place right now to learn. There are all these Twitter spaces every single day, all throughout the day. So you can put it on the background like you would a podcast or something like that, and just listen and learn and just hear what people are talking about. But a lot of times this language is like very esoteric, right? It's sort of like, again, in sneakers, right? If we were talking about dead stock, or I don't know, what are some other, even like some of the different models and different things like that.
Dornbachers and
right, exactly. Like somebody coming in from the outside is like, this is a foreign language to me, right? So
right,
I think can definitely happen in crypto, especially because
I'm like, what are we talking about? There's all the terminologies and it's so technical.
So
she needs pictures
side, and then there's also all this like internet TikTok-y kind of speech as well, right? That's like the HODL for hold, or FUD is like somebody that's like pulled out a rug, but even rug pull, like there's all these terminology and stuff like that. So
hold on for dear life.
Yeah. So we really just we're trying to get you in the door. We're trying to offer this session to just help you learn and share as much knowledge as possible. So
how much is the session?
Free 99.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we used to do it. We used to do it every week. We are moving it back to once a month now, just so we can add in. So what we discovered is like,
oh, really? Okay.
So there's a lot of education happening. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a Twitter space every other week, and then we're gonna do the NFT 101. So it gives people to kind of come in, and either so the Twitter spaces will be all about sharing all the stories, StockX and Adidas and Prada and everything that's happening on a daily basis or weekly basis, I guess. And then the NFT 101 session is to either come in, or maybe now you've heard a little bit, so you want to come back and sort of like refresh your knowledge and just like ask questions. So like Twitter Spaces, again, big group, it's kind of out there. Some people might be afraid to kind of hop on stage. The NFT 101 session is usually smaller groups. I think no more than 15 or 20 usually. And
Zooms, you're gonna still do that? Zoom?
we're still doing it on Zoom. We're keeping it personal. Yep, definitely. So
Okay.
it's with
I'm
me.
gonna sign up.
My co-founder Stefan, please do. We're going to put out the next one soon. And my social media manager Cam, who really kind of put all the info together. And he again started at that same space of having no idea what any of this stuff was about. He thought he was going to come work for some cool sneaker company, and then here I am teaching him all about like NFTs. Really, he's gone out and gotten the knowledge, and now he's actually educating and empowering other people as well. So, but again, how we learned is just again starting on Twitter, listening to all the conversations, talking to people, just asking questions. And again, the community, there are definitely some douchey tech bros and stuff like that are out there. And I think that
like
that's
sneakers.
important. Yeah, and I think that that's why it's important to, we see that in sneakers as well, right? The first time you ever go into a Supreme or something like that, or Flight Club, and you're scared as hell because it just, everybody seems so intimidating. But for the most part, they're just people, they're just humans. And so I think we also recognize that we are so early, and we want to bring more people into this again, because there are also opportunities. It's kind of seems a little like snake oil salesman, where it's like, I made $1 million, you can make $1 million too, but like literally what's happening. And it's crazy. Like it's like you see Bitcoin now at, well, I guess it's crashing a little bit, 35K per one. This is like getting in, especially on the NFT side, at like Bitcoin at like $1, right? We're still so early. There's so much time to get in and just learn. And that's all you have to do is learn and figure out when's the right time for you to hop
in. Yep. So the last thing, let everybody know about your chat, and how they can get access to that and everything else, because it's a good group. It's always got tidbits, and I mean, it's very friendly. It's not just about NFTs and stuff, but everybody's real friendly and social. So let everybody know how to get into that, and then we'll keep on going.
Yeah, so we're avoiding Discord. I think Discord is trash. That's probably one that you haven't heard about. It's just full of spammers and again bad actors and all that other kind of stuff. And so the worst thing for me would be, look at even what happened with Fractal, which is one of the Twitch co-founders, started up this new thing. Somebody came in and just stole a bunch of ETH from people. Again, I don't want to put that back on my community. That'd be the worst thing that would happen. So again, we're keeping it tighter for that reason. So we're using Twitter as our primary. I can see people joining. That little buzz is my Telegram going off, by the way. But so Twitter is sort of like broad announcements, kind of building some hype, building some awareness. Telegram is our tighter group. That's where we're keeping our conversation going, and it's a good mix of sneakers, people showing off their kicks every day, but also NFTs and crypto and sharing knowledge. And again, I think that those questions that you might be afraid to ask, this is definitely a group where you can ask those questions, and people are more than willing to share that info. And it's great when it's not me too, and other people are chiming in like that. That is really cool to me as well. So, and it's just at Sneakerhood on all platforms. Instagram is another place where we share things. Twitter, Telegram, just at Sneakerhood. So it's where you can find us. And that's SNKRHUD.
So if you guys still don't know anything about NFTs, check out the chat. Like B Mark said, he's going to have sometime later this month, or another NFT 101
next month
class coming out next month. So you guys have no excuse to sit here and 6 months from now say, I don't know what NFTs is.
Yeah, we're going to do the Twitter Spaces on Thursday night, and then we're going to do. And we'll put out flyers and again, Twitter and Telegram are the best places to learn about all this stuff. So we'll do the Twitter Spaces on Thursday, and then 2 weeks after that, we'll do the next NFT 101 session.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out, because I mean, that's just something that I've been interested in. And just like, man, where do you start? And there's so many outlets out there now that are offering, advice, but it's just hard to trust, where to go. I mean, because there's a way, I mean, even getting into crypto, I mean, I learned actually a lot from TikTok, where I was just like, I mean, I got into some type of cipher where it was just like, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, all right, let me check this out. Like, what's this one? And, I made a couple dollars. And I was like, all right, well, I can do this, and then figure out how to, sell different tokens, because it's all different. Like, I mean, if you're just on Coinbase and And what's the other ones? If you're just on Coinbase, then
I
you've
know.
already missed it. So you gotta get on like Pancake Swap and all those little seedy ones to really make some money.
Pancake swap.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like little different ones that you kind of like as you go along, you learn more. That you can kind of move around. You can be more mobile around and not feel like you're gonna lose some money. But I mean, I definitely have lost some money, just trying to take chances. But I mean, it's all money that I said, all right, I'm okay with losing if it doesn't work, but I at least want to try it out.
I think it's just like sneakers, right? Like we all, when we were first kind of maybe even re-entering it, right? Like, look, I bought the shit out of some Adidas, like Yeezy 350 V1s, V2s. I own 0 pairs of Yeezys now. Right?
Got rid of them all.
Hell yeah.
Good move. Good move.
Not bringing that bad energy into this house.
I've got all kinds of bad energy.
But I think it is. There are also, I would say that like one thing I do like what Coinbase does is like they teach you. So again, the coin
right.
also have utility. Like, what is this coin being set up to use for?
Right.
That's actually why NFTs have gotten so big. Is that Ethereum allowed for storing of information in a way that was different from Bitcoin. That's allowed for again that chain as a chain, not as a coin, but to store that information for these NFTs to exist, basically. And then other chains have continued to improve upon them. Some of them are more for business and finance and things like that. And so it's worth learning about all that stuff again if you're interested, or just stick to the things that you are interested in. There are, I think, Pancake Swap. There's a couple other ones like we've all heard about like Dogecoin and stuff like that, right? Like those are like meme coins, and so they're sort of like the hype of a community can really drive the value of that. And so sometimes it is worth buying something that just sounds really stupid. There might actually be value in it, but then there's also
when to get out.
You got to know when to get out. I mean, exactly. all of these should also be long-term holds. They're definitely, it's not, there are some quick flips that you can definitely do, but I think it's figuring out. So like I mentioned Ballers, for example, as an NFT project. I'm into those because, again, I was really excited. They got access to the Dapper wallet. I want to test it out. I'm into 3 of them for $200 each. Again, no crypto, just straight up use my credit card, $200 each. They did not have secondary available on their chain for a little while, so it just launched right before the holidays. So I'm testing things out. So I put one up for sale just to see, and kind of forgot about it. And then we're having conversations with them now. They mentioned that things are going really well. We're going to do a giveaway of assets once we do start minting.
Nice.
So I had Cam put together a list of like, what are the floor prices? What's the minimum buy-in for one of these assets right now? And he mentioned it was $1,700. I'm like, wait a second. I put mine up for $900. I never got a notification. So I was like, what happened? So I went in. Sure enough, at some point over the holidays, I think probably like the day or the day after.
Wow.
I also put for $900. So again, bought it for $200, sold for $900. Again,
wow.
No crypto, all just through my credit card. Super easy to do. I just started transferring the money like yesterday because I just figured this out. It's already in my account. Like it's super easy to do. And that's the level that we're getting to as well. And so again, it's figuring out what platforms make the most sense for you and all that. But also stay tuned because we're going to give away one of those $1,700 assets as well once we do start minting.
I'm listening now. You said giveaway? I was like, what?
I don't know what to do with it. It's gonna be like she's on our Obama phone trying to buy stuff.
She's like, I didn't understand anything else. Wait, giveaway? Now I understand.
No, I'm gonna register for your classes.
That's
be helpful.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
It's a good class.
On that. I'm definitely gonna get on that.
How long is the class?
About an hour, usually 45 minutes to an hour. It really depends on how many questions people start asking. Mo, I think, was like in a dead zone. So I think there was literally like 3 or 4 or 5 of us on the call, and it was just like we just started asking. They just started asking like more personal. Hey, I'm into this. Have you seen this? Like sort of questions, and like any information I have, I'm more than happy to share. And same thing, Telegram, same thing. You'd hop in now and start asking those questions and all that stuff as well.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into what's in the box here. Let me find it. I don't think it's even gonna work. You see. What's in the box? Sponsored by Unboxed app.
Hey.
Hey, everybody, all the sensitive green boxers, you know, soon you will be unboxed, right?
Soon. Yeah. Quarter two.
All right.
I'm one of those Android guys. I bug my every single time. Look, I'm not mad. I got the Pixel 6 Pro over the holidays. It is the best phone I've ever owned in my entire life. It is so good.
Oh, nice.
You know what? I mean, I think that with the iPhone, it's just like, man, I got so much on my phone that I don't want to transfer over to anything else. And I mean, I've had an Android before, and it was fun. It was great, like the first 2 years. And I mean, you probably want to buy a new phone after 3 years, but it was just like, all right, we're not gonna make paying or whatever weird operating system it is like, ice cream chocolate cake,
jelly
and then it just goes into
bean,
something. It's like, hey, we're not making that no more. So, this is your favorite app. Too bad. So I was just like, all right, let me just go ahead and stick with this one. I got an iPad, and then my work phone is an iPhone. So, like, if I'm taking notes on my iPad, I always have my notes, on either phone or whatever, even if I don't have my iPad on me. So it's just easier for me to do. And I just like to poke at folks because, they get extra sensitive. Like, well, I got this thing and this got a laser beam on it. And I'm like, all right, But this is where we go and we talk about the shoes that we bought since the last show, as well as we'll try to see what's coming out this week.
Yeah.
I don't think it's much, man.
A lot.
I don't think
There's
it's
a couple
a whole lot.
things.
Is it? Okay, if you got something pulled up, that's cool. I'm trying to think off top.
Yeah, I can show it. But anybody grab anything? Anybody?
I grabbed my hands. That's what I did.
You grabbed that L. No,
oh, that was low.
I can't say no. My team didn't even make it. So
damn, can I at least get like 2 days?
Cold-blooded.
Sheesh. I ain't pick up that.
B Mart, man, you grab anything?
So I sold. I moved in like October.
Okay.
So I, whenever I do that, I give away a bunch of stuff. I sold a bunch of stuff. Been trading a lot since like nothing is coming out right now. So I actually have getting rid of some Witherspoons, used Witherspoons for the Desert Moss Union 4s plus a stack of cash. I am very excited about.
Wait, which one?
The yellow ones from the second drop. The yellow.
Okay.
One. Yeah.
Oh, so you got the hold up, time out. Desert Moss, some cash, and what's the other pair you got for the
No. I'm trading the Witherspoons, getting the Desert Moss and a stack of cash. So.
Nice.
So yeah, but so the one I have picked up, this one's definitely been a need for me. The ALD.
Okay.
New Balance is like
New Balance is applying pressure.
Yeah.
I've been a big fan. That's what this whole wall is right behind me is mostly.
Oh, it is?
New Balance, yeah. I've got some pairs like the Concepts, Desert Rose, and Bodega Hypercats. I mean, like I've got some pairs for sure.
Do you like those? You like those paper boys that just dropped in Paris?
I do. The pink is very bright. I bet in person.
I love that.
They're beautiful. I bet in person. I have the Paperboy, the egg ones that came out last year, which are very nice. And
I was just looking at those. Yeah, those are nice too.
So yeah, no, I'm a big New Balance fan for sure. Amongst everything else, I also did get. I actually won a raffle for these right for the holiday. The Familia one.
Man.
Okay.
These are super nice. There's like this velvet inside.
What is that, velvet?
Yeah, I'm like.
Does it come with 2 laces?
I think they came with black and purple, maybe even one more. I think that they definitely came with a black pair of laces for sure. But the materials are just way nicer than I expected to be. So big Prince fan, grew up with that in the house. So,
so these were a must.
These were. I'm really glad I got them.
Nice. Very nice, especially when you get them for retail.
For retail, especially. Yeah.
Okay. Nicole, I don't think you have anything, right? Oh yeah.
No. I'm trying to think. Have I? No, I've been picking up old stuff. So like I just picked up a pair of Bordeaux that the ones that I had are like beat. I picked up some fire reds.
Which ones?
Fours or threes?
Yeah, fours.
Fives?
Nice. Yeah,
And
or fives. Yeah,
then
how about the five?
yeah, and then I have one more on hold, but I haven't picked it up yet. So I just kind of been picking up old stuff. Like I haven't really been looking at the new things that are coming out like that. I mean, maybe like the Big Bangs when those come out, they've been talking about those gonna be re-released.
Oh yeah, I forgot those are coming.
Yeah, so maybe something like that, but I haven't been like really hyped on anything new. Maybe the Armaniers too, so it's very selective, the ones that I've been going for. So I don't really look on a weekly basis like that.
I gotta see the twos in person. I need to see.
Ooh, did you see the pictures that came out today?
They all look different. Sometimes like the front looks black now, but I thought it was all in the maroon. So
oh no, oh man, I saw the pictures today and I was like, oh yeah. I actually personally I sent it to them in the chat.
Me
I
too.
was like, I like them better than the ones personally. They're not better than the threes. The threes.
I gotta see the quality.
Yeah,
but the quality looks like
it's got like a suede on it, right?
Exactly. It looks like suede. Yeah, I was like, yeah. So
yeah, they need to keep the suede on those. I mean,
oh yeah.
They do a red suede one, then I'm in there.
This man, go ahead and check.
What about the Concepts ones? Have you guys seen those? That's what everybody in my time.
I don't think I've seen them.
Concept a Jordan one.
No, Air Max ones. They're probably going to be an Air Max.
Oh yes,
that's probably why. Okay.
Yes, it's two of them, isn't it?
There's two of them. Yeah, Dion posted one pair on his Instagram Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, those are.
He made a reference to Sly and the Family Stone, which I thought was super dope. So only me and like one other person caught it in the comments. He commented back like, "Yeah, you got it." So I'm interested to see the storytelling on that one.
Yeah,
those are nice.
What you got?
I picked up a couple things. I picked up a couple things. I did get.
Wait, Martinez, that was it for you?
Yeah. That's it.
I just because I like to say Martinez, So that's
I was about to say like, why you call him Martinez? Like, you acting like he's a security guard.
I like it. Finally, someone. Look, when I was growing up, I had like Martinez. Like I grew up. I'll take that all day.
Right. All right. What you got?
I picked up the Kevin's. No, I picked up the Home Alone forums.
So mad I did not grab those in Vegas when I was there. I meant to go. I went. They were there in my size at Chic, and after I got my tat, I totally forgot to grab them.
What's the resale on those?
I mean, I think it was just.
But wait, the insoles, right? The insoles on that.
Yeah, they come with different ones. Like they come with like one with Marv and what's the other guy's name? With the Wet Bandits, they had that one, and then there was some pins that came with it. There's a strap that comes on it, but I don't like it with the strap because it seems really bulky.
Yeah.
So
that came with it. Damn.
Yeah, it came. Yeah, it came with a lot of stuff. I think they were $100, $120.
Was it a special box?
No, it was a blue Adidas box.
Okay.
So that was kind of underwhelming, but I mean, it came with a lot of stuff, and
this man. Then you gonna take them off with them in your front drop anyway.
I did pick these up.
Really?
How's the quality on those? I know everybody picked them up. I haven't even had a chance to really like.
They're the same as the Gold Toes or the
Fearless.
What are the other ones? The Fearless, the same. I did pick up all of the iShot wears. So I got this.
I wonder was he gonna show those.
Oh, let me see that other pair.
I put white laces in it, but like
I kind of like that.
So I put the white laces in.
Did you take a picture with those?
With the olive ones. Yeah. Okay, and then I got the red ones on the way.
Wow.
But I picked them all up because they weren't going for anything. I was like, man, this is first, his shoe. I mean, he's had other dunks, but he hasn't had this is his shoe, Nike SB. I did pick up Red Thunders.
This man.
What else?
We got to give you your own segment.
I picked these up.
Are you keeping all of them?
Yeah, why not?
Kev don't get rid of nothing.
I'm the same way though. I think I got rid of 2 shoes in the last.
All I gotta say
6 years.
Laser 4.
I picked up.
He admittedly hates the shoe and ain't letting it go.
Yeah.
Oh, you got both? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I got the bronze. I love these bronze. I love
Really?
these. I can't wait for the red pair to
Why
come
you
out.
say it like that? Nicole? Really?
Love them. No, I like those. And then I picked up these if I ever go golfing. You know, I had to pick up. This is
you
my
got
favorite.
those?
I did get those
Nice.
too.
Nice. I want the
Yeah,
military.
this is my
sport
favorite
ones.
all-time shoe. So I had to get. You know,
Yeah,
I always try to get whatever rendition. And then also I got these.
Oh, he ain't done?
The sneaker
Wait a minute.
room.
Kyrie?
Sneaker room Kyrie
They already
mom
came?
collection. Yeah, I
I actually like that colorway. It has like an Easter.
Well,
look
this
to
is
them.
these are two separate. Hold on, there's 4 of them.
There's 4 of them. How many you get? You got all 4?
All 4.
Yeah. So
Oh my God.
all right, hold on.
Sure.
Negro, did you get a bonus or something?
These two come together. I've been chilling, man. These two
Really?
come together. This is what the water and the fire. You,
Oh, geez,
and then
man.
I think the earth and the wind are these two.
You got all of that. You could be wearing them joints. You ain't gonna know what goes together.
Yeah, you can wear. I mean, that was a thing. I was like, I was only gonna buy the one that was like 525, but then I was like, if I buy the other ones, and that's basically 4 pairs of shoes because I can mix them and match them. I mean, they're all kind of similar in colors and go together. So
it was 4 different pairs, Kev.
No, it's 2 pairs, but you can
I got
switch them, then you get 4. You know,
You
you
can
get
wear
2
them
extra
8
pairs.
different ways.
Oh,
You can wear them 8 different ways.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Sneaker Room. That's the mom collection with Kyrie. They had a collab with Kyrie. If you got a chance to check out Maul's live with Siraj, he was on live last week, and they were talking about. I think it was on like last Wednesday or Tuesday, and him and Siraj were just kind of chopping it up about how the shoe came about, and the creation. And I mean, I think they sold a lot of sneakers on that live just because of the energy that they had and how they they talked about the project. And we don't typically get stuff like that. We don't get a backstory, a true backstory. We get a backstory that somebody creates somewhere, and then we all kind of just roll with it, like, oh yeah, these are shattered backboards.
Right.
All right, well, yeah, he dunked and he broke the backboard, but these actually have some meaning to them. So it was a no-brainer. So
look at you, all sentimental. This
yeah,
week
man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta you spending frivolously. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to justify that with your significant other, your wife, whatever.
My question is the segment over yet? Or
yeah, I'm done.
Oh,
so how many pairs did we count all together for this week?
I lost count.
Hey, this is I mean, it's gonna slow down.
It ain't slowing down.
Yeah, I mean, last year I didn't buy as much last year. This year, I don't know.
This year just started. It's the 24th.
Yeah, but you always start out strong, and then
it's a marathon.
Enjoy it.
But you know what? What happened was at the end of the year last year, that's when I kind of started getting into crypto. So my money was going toward, like, I was missing on releases. So then I was like, all right, let me go ahead and put 200 here. What I was going to spend on the shoe, I just put it in the crypto, and then it was making money. So I was like, all right, we're cool. And then I started pulling some out. Before I was like, they were saying that the stuff was going to go down, and let me go ahead and pull some of this money out. And so I did, and then I was like, hey, well, let me go ahead and grab this stuff. So. And I was like, well, if I buy, I was like, what I'm saying, like, I got the credit card, and it was like, it was giving them 5% back. So I was like, let me go ahead and buy all that. I was gonna pay for them cash anyway. So then I got the 5% back. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, hey.
You ain't gotta justify that, sir. We know.
You always have to justify. Somebody might be watching.
Your wife ain't watching. You good? She's not watching.
Sometimes I go upstairs and she'd be like, "Oh yeah, okay."
Oh, so you bought that pair?
I mean, she had a birthday, so it was a good one. So
okay.
She had a good birthday.
Well, shoot, you figure we got 5 minutes? Probably run a little over. We can
run. I mean, if y'all cool
you good? You gotta jump. You gotta jump at 9.
I'm good. We can keep chatting.
Well, yeah, let's
cool.
let's get into then let's not because really there Mo, you were right. There was really nothing that's coming out, I don't think, this week.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into. I mean, let's get back into the NFTs. Let's talk about that StockX. I mean, you had shared that article, and it was just like, man, and you were talking about utility, and I as much as I spin with StockX, I don't trust StockX. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, honest, I'm just gonna keep it real. Like, I don't trust them because in the article, it was saying that they don't guarantee, like, say if you get a pair of shoes down the road, you're holding on to whatever the NFT or whatever, or you get access to a shoe and then you buy it, they're not going to inspect it to see if it's real or not. So who's to say that they're not just sending bobos to you, and then you've already spent $1,100 on a $400 shoe. So
Exactly.
I mean, to me, I think that if someone has their first experience from just going from sneakers to NFTs, if you have your first experience that way, I think that it's going to breed a lot of bad taste in people's mouth. And that's something that I'd be worried about, for somebody to bump into. You're like, all right, I'm holding on to this thing for so long and then nothing's happening. And that's, I think, a lot of people's apprehension about getting into it is not knowing, all right, if I'm gonna drop $200, who's to say? I mean, because you can go on, what is it, OpenSea, and people can create their own NFTs. You can create your own NFT right now. Who's to know, what kind of marketing's behind it? Is it going to have a buzz? Is it going to have a resale? Is there utility? I was listening to Full Send podcast, and they had Gary Vee on, and he was just talking about how I think it's called, was it something Friends?
V Friends.
V Friends, where it has utility, where you're able to go to, the Gary Vee, seminars, like a 3-day seminar. And I mean, I'm sure that he's dropping gems.
Really?
And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can only go to it if you have the NFT, and then you can sell it, and so there's utility in that. And I think that if you don't go to the right place, it's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth. And that's what I'm interested in, sitting in on yours and just kind of learning, about learning the right way. Some people that we can trust and we can really, and they're not trying to, hey, give us $50 and we're gonna let you guys in on this. Like, kind of like, I feel like StockX is kind of trying to, weasel in.
And they haven't even shown like an actual. Have they shown an actual NFT or what it is that you're?
Yeah, it's investing? It's that image basically. That's all that it is. It's just that image. Like,
is that?
It's all it is.
An image.
Yeah, I mean that's what a lot of them are, is an image, and then there's sort of like, again, so Kev's totally right. Like, the first part of it is do your research, which that is exactly what you are doing, and everything you're talking about is what everybody should be doing. So who's making this, right? So that's the big thing of, if this is just some unnamed person, or they're like, punk 1 2 3 4 5, like, who is this person, and what are they ultimately trying to do? Because once you transfer that money, because also, unfortunately, it's usually not just $50. We're talking $200-300, sometimes more, especially if you are buying into a project later. You're transferring quite a bit of money to these people. They can do what's called a rug pull, where they're like, literally, I've seen this happen, where a couple of them I've been a part of as well, where they're like, hey, all this is coming and this is what we're doing. And then they literally just dip out, and your money's gone. And that's it. You paid them. You got
really?
I can see that. Yeah.
Big in crypto.
Yeah.
Big in crypto.
You got your JPEG, that was it. Now, they didn't give you the utility. So the utility, right, what we're talking about with that is, like, what else do you get with it? So, with Bored Apes, that started off with, they got these airdrops, right? They got additional NFTs for free. So they got the pets, then they got the serum to make the mutants. And so essentially, like, if you got in originally, you got this additional stuff for free, or you got to get it before everybody else, before it sold out, right? Even if, again, taking it back to sneakers, sometimes that would be a great utility. If you could just get a sneaker that nobody else can get, that's worth the money that you're paying for, right? It's like the ultimate loyalty club is kind of how I look at what a lot of, I think, utility, where a lot of this is going to go. So then it is, I think roadmap is something that you're kind of alluding to, Kev. Like, okay, so like for us, our roadmap is we're releasing these Sidekick assets. We have a couple airdrops planned with our community after that. So again, we're giving away free value. We're actually going to give away 1,000 of our sidekicks as well for free, because we want to, again, it shouldn't just be about buying in, but really like bringing in the community as well. And then we have an app already because we've been out there kind of building. So the next step is, all right, now we're going to connect the app to the wallet that you've already created with these new assets. The dev stock creator that I mentioned, our assets are allowing anybody to create their own NFTs. Again, there's step after step after step, and we've got that all laid out. We have a whole white paper that I wrote where you can get into like all the deep thoughts I have about why and how we're building this and all that kind of stuff. You should be able to find all of that information on all of these projects. Now, if it's not there, that's kind of a sign that, or if it's even just a shitty made website, or all they have is a Discord and a Twitter, that's probably a sign that you might not want to get in. I think the other thing though is that like the one side, as we do see more brands getting in, or even just more like creators, right, is like, all right, do you like this creator? So for example, there's guy Will Nichols, right, really great photographer on Instagram. He's been around for a long time. He's been selling his photos as NFTs. Now he's part of this project called Weather Report, which is just blowing up over the last week or so. And people know him. They know some of his other co-creators that he's creating with as well. That's reason to get in, because it's a trusted voice. It's a trusted brand per se that you're sort of getting behind, right? So it's all this. You got to do the research. What is the utility? What is this getting you? So, and like utility can be so wild and varied where like, you know, there's maybe a dog one and they're going to give back to the SPCA, or an environmental one and they're giving back to some sort of fund or something like that. Like there's so many different ways of this is what your money is going towards now is, I think, also supporting causes, supporting brands, supporting your beliefs. That's the same way your kicks sort of like tell a story about you when you walk in a room. Your NFTs also tell a story about like what are you into, like what excites you, whether it's the artwork, creator, the process that they're behind and all that. So bringing this all back to StockX, none of that is there. Like literally,
I was gonna say, like, they dropped the ball.
They promise you.
What's the level of security? I mean, StockX barely even returns on regular purchases, or like if something, you know, is not, if it's fake or whatever. So what's the level of like security or guarantee that they're offering behind this? Especially being such a new platform.
Yeah.
All it says is that your sneakers are being kept in a vault, in a StockX vault.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what is?
Yeah.
So that also means like if you do cash out, like how are they keeping them pristine? Are they making sure that they're like safe from degradation? Like all the things that like we care about. Again, yeah, none of us have just said we don't really trust StockX. So what does that really mean? You know, and then there's also the one utility that they're alluding to is like you may get access to future discounts in the future, but none of that is spelled out. Like,
yeah, that's an incentive to get you in. Yeah.
But it's not even a good enough incentive to get you in.
Right.
There's so much that they could have done with this. And the sad thing is they are a $1 billion company. They have the money. They could have taken the time to really put something together that added value that would entice people to come and actually want to purchase. And I feel like they just sloppily threw something together just to kind of jump in because you see Nike and Adidas and all these other brands. So it's like, okay, well, let's just slap some bullshit together, make it sound like it's adding value, and let's see how many suckers we can get in to buy the product. And I'm not trying to be negative, but it's just like, it's funny. My business partner and I were talking about this before, and he was like, wait, why would I buy an NFT for $1,100 for a shoe that's only $400, and then I don't get the shoe and then they're storing it in the vault? And I'm thinking it was just me. And then 2 days later, his newsletter came out and he said the same thing. And it's like, you're not fooling it. People who are paying attention aren't going to be fooled by this. People
follow hype. So people probably just going to do it just to say they got something from
StockX
StockX.
NFT.
That's the same thing with Flight Club. Like they're so overpriced, or just having the tag that says StockX still on these sneakers. Like they will have so many people that are going to fall into that.
But I think that as this market gets saturated, you have to have something that invokes emotion, and StockX doesn't invoke a positive emotion because they're not participants in the community.
Right.
So basically, what they're a tool. Like, how much do you care about a tool? No,
No.
there's
Right.
no emotional attachment to a tool. But when you have a company that has a story behind it and they're building a community and they're offering utility that you're interested in, and that's when it comes down to what you said before. What are you into? What does it say about you? You're going to invest in an NFT that benefits you and says something about you, as opposed to, hey, I'm gonna give you this X, and maybe we'll send you some of those fake
some
fake
shoelaces.
fake Jordans with the StockX tag that they didn't even produce. Like that. I don't know.
I think it's two things for me. Is that like one, because I straddle back and forth between like a tech community, startups, and sneakers, right? And so one of the tech newsletters that I get said literally this is how it was phrased when it was talking about the StockX news is ever wanted to buy sneakers but never gonna wear sneakers. Now you can buy the StockX NFT. Like again, so speaking back to the drop, it just wasn't for us. They don't give a shit about the community. It's never about that. It's for a different person, right? And I think even to Mo's point a little bit of like why they did so little or put so little effort into it is that they did see, Nike's numbers that just came out at the end of the year were skyrocketing, and they were attributed to the digital growth specifically and the attention to what is happening, especially on the Web3 side and investing in that space. So they said, like, we know they have an IPO coming out. So they said, oh shit, let's just do some Web3 shit and let's call it a day. And our investors, they'll be psyched about it. And like, if you look at, if you, I know we're all probably deep in our TikTok and Twitter and Instagram bubbles, but if you do pull out a layer and look at the especially the tech community, they loved it the same way as they love Soul Savvy. They love the StockX thing, right? Like, because they're not part of the community. They don't understand what we're ultimately saying. But I think that is what's exciting about Web3 is that like our dollars get to really support the things that we believe in, and we can really build something together. Like that's what this is all about for me.
That's what's up. Yeah, I can't wait for the for Thursday.
Well, you doing something this Thursday?
We do the Twitter Spaces. The Twitter Spaces on Thursday, but we'll have more conversations just like this, like opening up the floor. I think it's just to like, because this week there may not be a lot going on in sneakers, but this week it felt like everything was happening in Web3. From like KD being the voice of Coinbase, or was it OpenSea? I think it was Coinbase. He signed it. No, maybe it was OpenSea. All right, see, all the details are getting jumbled. Adidas and Prada have like a style NFT that they're doing where they're actually allowing people to submit to that. There were a ton of stories that happened this
the
past
Nas thing.
Nas and Royal and
he got something going on. Okay,
he released. So Royal is a music platform owned by the Chainsmokers, and I think those guys are the ones who started it. He's releasing a couple tracks through that as an NFT. And the music side, I mean, that is a whole. I've got another project on the side that I've been helping somebody research, and music is a lot because music is a complicated industry. Now you try and like unpeel it. That's what Web3 is about, like showing the receipts. That is what the music industry does not want to do. So
of course,
it's an interesting one to see how that unfolds. So
interesting. Okay.
Awesome. All right, well, let's go ahead and shut her down. Mo, I'll let you go. I'll go last.
Oh, let's let Brandon, we're about to close it out. So, ladies first.
I mean, there's two ladies in the room, but
it's two of you.
I don't know about
you and whoever's
I'm just happy with y'all on here.
I can't tell with that mustache. I wasn't sure, but
I know somebody who like it.
Go ahead, Nicole.
But so Soul Wash is actually having a Black History Month. If you are in the DMV area, we're having a Black History Month exhibition. We had one 2 years ago before everything shut down, and it was dope. We had a lot of like memorabilia. We have the Negro League. What was it? The Air Force One in 2006. We had the jerseys. We had like the whole thing. We had the Tuskegee Airman. So it wasn't just about sports. We had fashion. We had music from DMC, De La Soul, Big Pun, all of that. But anyway, so we're going to be doing something similar to that at our DC location, the 19th and the 20th. So if you are interested in the area, go to our website, purchase a ticket. But yeah, it was nice to be on here. I do miss you guys. I've been working a lot. But yeah,
Hard to paint.
Soul Wash and Footage Society as well. Bye, guys.
Yeah.
I'll pass it on to Mo.
Let's go to Brandon.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm gonna go to
Okay.
Brandon. Let the guest.
Brandy, where you from?
Brooklyn. I'm in New York.
I know, but Martina is from where?
My mom is half black and half Jamaican. My dad is from Mexico.
Oh, okay. We cousins then. We cousins. Nah, it was nice having you on. Thank you so much. It was a lot of great info.
I'm excited. Me and Mo have been Mo's been teasing it out like, oh, we're gonna get you. So I'm glad to finally make it happen. So and good. We're starting off the year. We're getting all the info out. Everybody's learning together. I'm excited to be the first one back as you guys are coming back too. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me and letting me talk my nonsense about NFTs. But anytime anybody wants to talk about anything or even some 101 stuff, just like or one-on-one stuff, let me know. Like this is all I do all day is just talk about sneakers and Web3 and NFTs and how to make it better and how to make it better for us as well specifically. So you can find me on Instagram as Bmart. Twitter is Proudly Washed because I'm old and I'm fine with it. The business, like I said, is at Sneakerhood on all platforms. Twitter, Instagram, and our Telegram is definitely where if you want to lean in with us a little bit more. When we do launch, that'll be the first place where we'll be announcing all info. We'll be launching what we're calling an allow list, basically first access to the NFTs when we do sell them at a pre-sale price as well. So you get a little bit of a discount from the public sale. We're going to do a couple of partner launches with that as well. Right, Mo? Mo's going to be on that on Backside. Yes, we got a lot of really cool projects on, again, Web3 and sneakers that we're partnering with on that as well. So check Instagram, Twitter, Telegram, all that for more info. Launching very, very, very soon as I can make this the best experience possible for the community.
Nice. Very nice.
Exciting.
We'll have to get it. Gonna have to get in on that.
You can use your Telegram. You don't even have to like take out of your crypto, Kev. Like it's just your credit card. It's easy.
That works. That's even easier.
Matter of fact, you send me your.
I'm like, man, I gotta get my Binance coins together. You know, and I try to stay away from the Ethereum because man, the gas fees. You try to buy.
I had some Matrix NFTs that I bought on Nifty Gateway, and it's another one I forgot. I put them up for sale. I think I bought them for $50 each. I think I bought 3. I sold 2 of them for 100 or 150 each or something like that. So definitely made my money back. Not crazy, but a little bit.
Return on investment.
But to transfer the money was I've transferred it. I don't know where it is. It's literally lost in the Matrix somewhere.
That is. You can lose money.
Well, I haven't lost it yet, but it's just I was trying to avoid
taking a while.
Trying to avoid the gas fees and take the long way around to get it back into Coinbase, and so it's there's a lot of learning curve to all this as well. So
well, Kev is like the poster child with all those sneakers that you got.
Mo, you go ahead. You want to go, Mo?
Yeah, shout out to the chat for tuning in. As always, appreciate all you guys. Appreciate you here on the panel. You know, B-Mark, appreciate you for coming on the show and as well as providing me some insight and advice on some things on how to navigate my business. I definitely appreciate that. We also have some things coming up with the app pretty soon. We just had an update. I want to say not even a week ago, where you're able to track your wears of your shoes again and to select any date. And then if you're actually tracking your wears, we have a feature now that recommends what condition your shoe should be in. So if it's been worn 5-10 times, it might recommend you need to make it a 9 out of 10. Because half y'all out there be swearing that your shoes are a 10 out of 10 and they be beat to hell. So that's the story. We're trying to help you out there. Couple weeks, we got some really big things coming out. I don't want to tip my hand here just yet, but stay tuned, open your emails, and appreciate you guys for, spreading the word about unboxing and supporting.
All right, and I want to thank you, B Mart, man, for being on the show, man. Definitely learned a lot, and man, I can't wait to learn more. This is something that I think that, especially like what you said, kind of getting in at the beginning is just gonna be crazy. I remember this guy was telling me about Ethereum and Bitcoin way back in the day. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, you can get into this where you spend money and then it just puts it right there. And I'm like, man, I ain't trying to do none of that. And then, just to think about if I had listened to him, things could be in a whole different ball game. So, my ears are open now. And I mean, I'm in a better place to be able to do stuff now. So it's definitely something I'm interested in. So I'll definitely be tapping in.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nicole and Mo, for being on the show today. Shout out to our brothers, Ma and Marcus. Miss you guys, on the show, but I understand, things happen. I want to go ahead and shout out the people that shouted the show out and tag me. If you tag me, then I can shout you out. Hop Dog, appreciate you, bro. KB Fresh Kicks, Beard Jedi, and make sure you guys check out Talking Kicks on Wednesday at 8:30. It's Beard Jedi, OG Sneakers, and Cadillac Jackson. They will be on. So make sure you guys check that out. I think that they're winding their season down. So make sure you guys check them out on Wednesday. Also, Who Has the Heat? Make sure you guys check them out on Friday. We will be judges.
Yeah.
No, Saturday. It's Saturday, right?
Friday. Like,
Yeah.
No, Saturday.
It's Saturday. So stop using this government. Man, you should have been on the show, man. I wouldn't have to use it. Wouldn't have to shout you out. You just shout yourself out. But yeah, we will be on Who Has the Heat. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to cutting up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe dipping in the sauce a little bit. Maybe not. But no, I'll be asleep. No, but yeah, we'll be on Who Has the Heat on Saturday. So can't wait for that. And thank you, Usual Suspects, for coming through. Definitely appreciate you guys rocking with us. I think Chilltown, he's probably gonna go live after this. I mean, he typically does. But if he's not, make sure you guys check out Chilltown. Definitely great chop up sessions over there. And I think that's it. You got something else? That's it.
No.
All right.
Just